It has happened.
Oh, it's going?
Yeah.
Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. We're having a Minneapolis By Night scene. So this finds the Keeper, the Venture Primogen, the Tremere Primogen, and his bodyguard getting into a vehicle and driving around town. So Carmine will notice that Rainsdale has a big, rocky dude that is with him.
We've met.
What up, kid? How you doing, Holmes?
I'm doing fine.
Alms will be working as my personal bodyguard.
Holmes is a freaking breach to the masquerade. He's not walking around nowhere.
We'll handle that concern.
Well, okay, as soon as you do that, he can be a bodyguard.
Carmine, calm down. I have stuff under control.
Okay, we got paperwork and
no,
stuff.
it's fine. I know, paperwork is fine. All right, I need to explain a few things to you, and they are of great import.
Okay.
Just let me know what the pitch in, Ransdale. It's your show.
Sure. There is, the Asmite Antediluvian is in the city.
Like he's walking around?
Yes, he is actively walking around. He is also a secret member of the Red List. So I cannot tell Lucinda, we cannot tell people that he is here. Otherwise, there are, and he'll look over at the other two. Now I have to let you know that if you speak about this, that I might actually have to kill you. As he looks to the other two. There is a red Alistair here, the most potent of Alistairs, and I assume that he is searching for Hakim.
What? For what? What?
So, if they were to fight, it would be a ridiculously destructive, cataclysmic fight. And we cannot have them meeting, so I need to meet with the Asimite to encourage him to go somewhere else before the Red Alistair fights him.
Now, while we're in a discussion where this can be discussed openly, I can get a hold of he who refers to himself as Joe.
Okay, that is wonderful.
What the hell's Joe?
Joe is the antediluvian of the Asimite clan.
Joe is not Hakim. It is hyphenated, not hyphen Hakim.
Explain to me why the fuck Joe is here doing what for what?
Oh, he has
he's murdering Sabat.
Yes.
So, fuck me.
Yes, Carmine, I'm not done with the ridiculously bad news yet.
How did we find this out?
I met him at a Toreador bar.
What do you mean you met him at a Toreador bar?
Fucking... If I can interject, the real way that this came up is Thomas Roderick, the one who was working with Gareth, is now my childer.
What'd you do? Kidnap him and turn him into a vampire?
No, he actually left of his own volition, and I looked into his very soul and found that he was genuinely, he was disgusted by Gareth's actions, and he wished to come to our side, and he gave us the antidote to the virus, so we don't have to go to that Swan Club, because we'll be able to disseminate the actual cure for the virus.
But I still want to go to the Swan Club and fuck some guys up. I got people on that.
Yeah,
there's no guys there.
That's not a thing, actually. There's no guys there. The patient, that wasn't even used as a patient zero drop. He told us he could tell us where the patient zero drop was, but it's irrelevant.
It takes 3 weeks before the symptoms even arrive. Excuse me, I apologize. This is already spread farther than it actually seems. It takes 3 weeks before the symptoms arrive, and then there's the 48-hour period. It's likely throughout the entire city already.
So,
and this guy just randomly decides, hey, it's a good idea to come join you guys because I feel bad?
I honestly swear that I looked into his soul and he was genuine. He is not being controlled by any demons. He has no dominates. He did not have his mind messed or his emotions messed with at all to do this.
This is a lot to take in.
We're not done.
There's more.
I'm certainly not done. Gareth has a nuclear device hidden in the city, and in a month and a half, if he has not completed his plans, he will leave and detonate a nuclear device in the city and kill everyone inside.
So there's a bomb!
There's a bomb. There is a nuclear bomb.
So while I'm making these slow plans and stuff, I'm wrong. Awesome. Great.
Yes.
There's more.
So we have the locations of the Sabbat Havens, all but Gareth's.
This Roderick guy just handed them to us on a silver platter?
No, this was actually a Primogen.
What
He
Primogen?
waves.
What'd you do?
Mr. Senshal, if I might borrow one of your lines, I know a guy.
You know a guy who knows where all the havens are?
Yes, and
Yes.
so to move forward past that, I've scouted all. I scouted all of the havens.
When did you scout all
I can leave my body and project my soul to different
You
places.
can what? How the fuck does somebody do that?
Please stop screaming, Carmine. I can project my soul, and I looked at all the places, and they are all still used as havens. But 3 of them have abominations that are still alive. So half vampire, half werewolf, monstrously powerful creatures.
There's half vamp... Motherfucker.
So what I proposed is that I will make everyone be able to stay awake during the day, and I can get everyone safely to the locations, and then we kill them during the day. Now, the 3 lesser places, I figure...
So why the fuck am I even here?
What do you mean?
I'm good, but I can't leave my fucking body and find fucking bad guys with superpowers and can turn guys that ain't vampires into vampires. Well, I mean, I can do that. But still, how the fuck did you do that? Like, this guy's just like, hey, I want to be a vampire now? Fuck my superpowers?
That guy actually did not have any superpowers. He was actually just a mortal who was so useful to Gareth that he used him and his mortal sway to ruin us. And at first he thought that he fell in line with the ideals of Gareth, but Gareth was lying, and he found out the truth, and Gareth trusted him, so he was able to bring the vial to us, and now he is on their #1 death list.
Much like the mayor.
Who killed the mayor?
Actually,
Gareth killed the mayor.
yes. On that note, one moment. Alex opens up his suitcase. I apologize for interrupting the tirade again, Ransdale, but this is immediately pertinent. He pulls out a folder, hands it off to Carmine. In that is the list of the addresses, the CDC's fucking stuff, which is completely irrelevant now that they have their hands on a fucking antidote, and a picture of the mayor, the deputy mayor, and there's a third seat where he pretty much just points at that and says, Gareth is sitting there, by the way.
Lusambra can't be tracked via, camera.
So the deputy mayor is also compromised. They removed the mayor because...
Reasons?
I guess.
So,
okay.
yes, so Carmine, we need to form strike teams, and we'll need to hit these Sabbat Havens hard during the middle of the day would be most opportune.
Abominations.
Yes, the abominations. There are 3 abominations that are. One is protecting each of the core important Sabbat members' havens, and then Gareth keeps a ratoon of 8 with him at all times. So
there's a super badass vampire werewolf thing. Just kind of 8 of them. Just kind of hang out with him. Like that's a thing for him. Okay.
Yeah,
and that's just with him. There's 11 total.
There's 11 total.
There's 11 total.
The other ones are in separate locations, so we should be able, because the Sabbat are known for their inhumanity and being on paths. So they are quite a bit, it's difficult for them to rouse, and they're weaker during the day, whereas I can make it so that all of us are not, in fact, weaker, that we will be able to operate during the day at maximum capacity, and then I can securely get us to there. And I guess everyone can take some time to see the sun if they so wish, but it gets old.
So again, my question: because, son of a bitch, when the hell how do we know that this is not some kind of ruse?
Well, he looked into Roderick's soul, and I trust my source intrinsically.
Yes.
Well, how do we know that they didn't magic his soul to look like you wanted to look like, and this is a total mindfuck?
I suppose that is true. However, I think it's worth the risk to attack them during the day. I mean, all the intel I found is completely legit. When I searched their homes, all of them are definitely lived in.
Here's the thing. Are we off in this? Is Roderick in the car with us, Carter?
Roderick is not in the car with us.
Are we gonna whack this guy when we're done?
I intended for him to be my childer. I had right of progeny from the prince.
That's great. Can we kill him anyway? It'd make me feel better.
Yeah, if you want to kill him, I don't really care, Carmine. For purposes of my own, I don't want to know how you're going to do it, and I don't want to know when. So if you can just do that and have that happen and make it look like a Sabbat attack, I would appreciate it.
Okay, because any guy who's gonna do that kind of thing, I don't. Fuck you, Bill. Out of character.
Bill, go to bed. Bill, go to bed.
I was given permission.
You're sleeping. Like I said, you have 4 days to sleep, and then you're gonna have to be up for 28. Go the fuck to bed.
This is some bullshit.
I don't think so.
Yes, yeah.
When the hell? Why? I pride myself on my ability to see things, but this I could not have seen.
No, you could not have seen it. That's why I'm informing you, so we can compartmentalize and we can dissect. Oh, also, there's
there's more.
There's a place where there are a group of hackers. If they succeed in what they're doing, instead of killing all those people at that club, the hacker club, he took all those hackers, and they're currently building a program or a set of programs to shut down the city and do what is known as a fire sale. And then the economy, communications, infrastructure will all shut down in the city, and there will be absolute and total anarchy that we have to deal with.
Bill, you stole my idea, you ass.
On that note, Carmine, there's a friend of mine, Violet West from St. Paul, who apparently decided between a combination of her own boredom and apparently I have not called her enough. She has arrived in the city, and if we're going to, I leave it to your discretion, and if we're going to bother with proper procedure, she has already presented to me, and so I told her that she would need to present to you.
Well, she's got to present to me. Those are like the rules.
I just wanted to make sure.
Is there a word?
Huh?
Does nobody else hear a reverb?
I don't know where. It looks like it's coming from between you two.
Yeah, I was hearing a bit of a reverb on mine, and I had mine muted, so.
Okay, I got an idea.
No? Josh, I think that might be you.
Really? Hang on. I'll check it.
Well, he's got
an idea.
on, so probably.
So wouldn't it be better? Okay, we're gonna have to reach out. I never like to reach out. But there's gonna.
Hold on,
What happened?
There's still reverb. I can still hear it.
Okay, PJ mute, and then Marcus just give a sound test.
Ba.
Marcus,
It's coming from his end. Yeah, it's all you.
Sorry. I have bad tech. I need a new mic.
First time I've ever heard that.
That is weird.
What's that? Hear that right there? You don't like that?
Oh, do you not have headphones in?
I have headphones in. Well, if I take the headphones in, if I just use the mic, will that work better?
I guess, man. Like, right now, you're literally ununderstandable.
Echo.
When
Yeah, like
you
everything's
overlap a
coming
bunch
through
of words.
twice.
Yeah, well, like when it overlaps on each other like that, I can hear the beginning word and I can hear like the end for you.
Can you hear me at all?
All three of you.
All three, yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me try that. What about now? What about now?
It's still going.
I'm sorry. That's what I got. That's what I got. I can't change
Weird,
that.
it's never
Change
happened
that.
before.
Yeah, I don't know why it just all of a sudden started happening. It's weird. Oh well.
I have a new fan. I don't know if that's a problem.
Shouldn't be.
All right, I've got like 4 minutes left. I'm on the last 4%.
Okay, here's the thing. Try and understand me. We need to go to Dragon technology people.
Okay.
We try and go to them. They might be able to track. Doing techie stuff. Do we need some really techie to find them where they're doing starting to do this fire sale thing? They might be able to trace them. Huh?
We know where the children are. Roderick confirmed that the list of addresses that I have in that folder that I got from my contact, where the Sabata hold up, is where the children are.
One of them, yes.
So how are we gonna get the kids without them killing them?
Frankly, as much as it sucks to say, we have to make sure that the program doesn't happen. I do not like this, but I believe that securing the children may have to become our second priority.
Well, what if we're not the guys who get the children?
Well,
What are we?
problem is they're amped up on vampire blood.
They're
great. They're gold. Vampire hacker kids. Awesome. Great.
I think
Good.
one of the things that can happen, if we can essentially gas them and knock them out, or incapacitate them in some way, I can use my thaumaturgy to burn all the vampiric blood out of their body.
Well, I got plenty of gas.
Is burn literal, or is this?
Huh?
Is burn literal in this case?
No. It just forces them to use the vampiric blood in their system to do things. I can force
them for a long period of time so the cooling wears off. It will wear off.
It seems like you guys have a plan. Are you just telling me to let me know?
Well, I've actually just devised that plan while talking to you. I did send some people out to do things. I have the Giovanni is securing us.
The cure thing.
The cure for this problem. I have explained to your associate that he will be fixing the problem with the hackers. Obviously, you and I will need to be the more martial ones that go handle the Sabbat and the BSDs.
We will.
I mean, can you think of anyone else in the city more appropriate than us and the sheriff?
Alex raises his hand a little.
You're like a paper pusher.
I was a Marine.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Was all you could be.
It was enough to get me embraced, but that's neither here nor there. At the very least, I can help. It's another gun.
Like special forces tactics. Why am I here? I'm a crook from Jersey. What do I know? Magic. Frickin' magic and frickin' guys wings and fucking hacker.
What makes it even better is the whole echo.
It's amazing.
Carmine, you are the crook from Jersey, and I am the friendly thaumaturgist. But we are fulfilling more than our roles.
Oh, that reminds me.
One more. Fuck you out of this fucking car. Swear to Christ. One more.
He's just going to point at Ransdale and says, apparently he has created a new position.
Yes.
What?
You're not gonna like it.
I'll speak to you or the prince on it, but at this point there are so many things that need to be killed that I need an assistant Scourge so that he can murder things and not have to be questioned about it.
Scourge,
Alex moves a little bit.
You're the assistant Scourge now.
Apparently.
This cannot be. I have to draw the line here.
Of course.
You can have the winged little buddy there. This guy's not scorching shit. I've worked very hard on the town, and he knows what I'm supposed to do. I'm not trying to train some of the new guy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get yourself scored, I gotta train a new guy.
Ransdale will look at Alex and say, "I'm sorry, but you will not be suitable based on your elder statements."
And Alex is just gonna shrug and say, "Well, being shot at isn't terribly fun, so I'll let you have all of that fun, Mr. Ransdale. It seems like you may be in line for a potential promotion."
Apparently. Oh, I'm your friendly neighborhood winged murder hobo.
Well, we will have to discuss that back at our residence because I'm not sure that you're educated enough. Once you go through a process of vetting and I can make sure that you're palatable for outside consumption, then we will discuss your ability to do things with me in that capacity.
And again, I asked, why the hell am I here?
You're obviously here to stop me from making Alex an assistant character.
Yeah, see, you're being very proficient at your secretarial job of executive decision, sir.
Right. And there's an asthma guy walking around whack everyone.
No. He is
I'll
strictly
deal with him.
here for the Sabbat.
I'll deal with him.
What do you mean you'll deal with him?
I'll handle it, Carmen.
Ransdale, you're pretty badass. The frickin' Diluvian. You also have responsibilities. Remember, like Regent, and like the Primogen, and like the guy that does the magic and knows the magic. Remember that?
I think so. I have a lot of responsibilities, but I will at some point I will need to be diverting off some of these responsibilities to others because
thought about that. Extra fucking awesome, huh? Thought about that, didn't you? And what about the other thing you're supposed to be working on?
At this point, I don't even know what mages.
No, the other thing with the lake power, with the magic thing.
I am not even sure what you're talking about right now because of the reverb, so Ransdale will look at
Ley
you.
lines.
Oh, ley lines. Yeah.
About that.
I'm mapping those two. And I've almost found I should know in the next few weeks where the antediluvians are.
So there's and abominations. We could fucking medically, couldn't we?
Antediluvians, abominations, yeah, I'm sorry that it wasn't all alphabetical, but I will do my best next time to prioritize what I tell you based on alphabet. You're my friend. We are associates. If you want me to do things that I'm not doing, if you want me to prioritize things better, I will attempt to do that.
Oi.
But our sit and wait plan is no longer applicable. There is a bomb. There are things happening, so we must start hitting things head on.
Dave decided to move forward with their plan. So yes, I wasn't aware that they were from now. So now I can implement some things. I got some plans. I mean, they're not as grandiose. I can't do none of that. Again, I'm a crook from Jersey.
We will do what we need to do. I know that you will make new plans that are appropriate to the situation, and we will handle things there.
We should definitely. God, Jesus. All right. So basically, in importance, top priority. What do you guys think it is?
Top priority, I believe that we should take 4 days to muster things together, and then we need to gut Gareth's extra Sabbat flunkies.
Okay, I gotta wait.
I have a resource that may be able to help with that somewhat.
Wonderful. I say that all the lesser Sabbat places that we use.
Oh, you dropped.
Nope, yep, he died.
Yeah,
He'll catch on to that in a minute. Anyway, so as far as what Alex has just been talking about, I have a resource that should be able to help with us taking care of these smaller places. Apparently, Roland left towards St. Paul to go have a meeting with the gangrel primogen of that city. Happens to be a close friend of mine, and he informed me about this. He apparently was asking to try and see if the gangrel from that city would be willing to come over and offer help as a contingency if we needed extra muscle. I happen to agree with Jackson, the primogen over there, that calling in help from another city does not from the outside would not put much faith in our capabilities if we're having to call in extra help. But he did say that if we needed it and we get rid of this viral problem, they would be willing to come over and help rip off some faces for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the thing. You guys are really good at being, brain guys. So good at the execution part. Here's the problem. If we're gonna do any sort of if we're gonna do any sort of am I still reverbing?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I really am. I don't know what the hell's the problem is. Try it again. Let me log out.
Okay.
Am I the only one who's concerned about the bomb thing?
Oh, the bomb is very much a concern, but the problem, and ultimately, as far as
I
answering,
understand we don't know where it is, but shouldn't finding it be like top priority?
yeah, it's ultimately his endgame. I mean, if it comes down to it, he can just say, "Well, fuck it. This is." Oh, Marcus. Oh, and PJ is back.
On my cell phone, my sound terrible.
Okay, so PJ, as a
What
thing
about
that
now?
you're
Oh, you
perfect.
sound great.
So, just to catch everybody up, PJ, one of the things that Alex just mentioned, apparently Roland talked to the St. Paul gangrel primogen, said, "Hey, can you come over and help?" Primogen over there was like, "Bitch, if we go over there and help you, that's not going to look good for you guys. Also, you have a fucking viral outbreak. After you get rid of that, we'll consider it." And that's pretty much just another thing that was thrown out there. PJ, you were in the middle of a tirade when you disconnected.
Oh, yeah. Rain still says, I think that we use our mortals and we firebug the weak ones, and that'll only leave us 3 Sabbat havens that we actually have to get gritty in, and that's the ones with the abominations.
If I might,
Yes.
Carmine, you also asked what we believe to be the biggest priority. If we start cutting out the legs from under Garrett's operations, he has a nuclear weapon already in place in the city that if he decides that he can't get what he wants because we've done too much damage to his operations, he will simply glass everything.
It's okay. I now know why I'm here.
You have the streets.
No.
That bomb.
I'm not gonna find shit. I'm gonna tell some people. I'm gonna give some information to some people, and they're gonna go find it because it's gonna be in their best interest.
Uh-huh.
Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell the mages, hey, some guys that got magic hoodoo or whatever, got a magic bomb or whatever, someplace. Go find it, or we're all dead.
So, I will no longer deal with mages. I will leave that to you, Carmine.
I'll take care of it. I got
Ransdale.
Well, here's the thing. We got one problem. We're trying to do this all by ourselves. It's a citywide problem. So we're gonna make it a citywide problem by kind of parting off some of the work on the other guys.
Okay, I agree.
Ransdale, you did say that you have a contact within the shifters as well as our liaison, correct?
Yes. I
Well,
can attempt to work with them.
So I say the best thing we do is we pick the we pick the parts that we wanna act in, and we'll let them deal with the other shit. That
I'm
way,
sure they have their own concerns, but I agree that we should attempt to bring them in because they are working in concert with others. So we should also.
yeah, I don't want to shoulder all this, basically, I don't want to eat alone. So they call on the street, and I don't want to eat alone. We'd all be able to gain something off this, but we gotta tell the story the right way. We gotta tell them this. Hey, this is gonna affect you, like in a minute. So you might want
I
to do something about that.
I believe that if we explain the shifters having evil vampire shifters, that there's a nest of vampires that they get to destroy, in addition to some abomination, that they will all fall on that very hastily.
And the mages, well, they got magic, so we could probably pay them to find anything we want.
That seems reasonable.
And I don't want these guys from out of town. No offense, but here's the thing: one, they gotta come from out of town, which means they gotta get here. Two, who knows what they're gonna ask for when they do get here.
Yes, I also do not want out-of-towners. Also, I do not like Roland, so if we can shit-list him in any way, we should do that.
Oh, that reminds me, and this is on a much pettier note than any of the other concerns, but you may find this humorous, Carmine. But when you remember how you sent me the message earlier saying that you had some help you wanted me to offer towards the gangrels,
Yeah.
I had heard from Roland about 2 minutes before I got your message, and he for lack of a better way of putting it, he tried to tell me to help him. And when I told him that I would need enough empirical evidence to prove that it wasn't his men that had off to the mayor, he attempted to try and pull rank on another primogen.
What do you say? I'm a primogen?
Let's see. He pulls out his little satellite phone thing. The exact line was, and this is the part that doesn't really make terribly much sense to me. The word of a 4 status member of the city isn't enough. As an out-of-character comment, I had asked him, that's an out-of-character question, right? He says, no, that is in character.
In character,
Okay.
you wouldn't know his status.
I know.
It's
funny.
Status is not a numerical value. Let's see.
Yeah. There's no rank in status. It's just, okay, this is what you are. You have.
And Joey, yes, Ian is. He just got tattled on.
He said
I
that to
heard
you.
that. I was like, what?
So he said that to you, huh?
Yes, I then corrected him, simply stating that I needed the proper information to know if I was having to fabricate a truth, or making sure that the appropriate truth, or simply making sure that the appropriate truth was being brought to light. And so I apologize if I may have been a little bit too vindictive here, but the measures I have put into place may only come to fruition once his company gets brought to court.
Okay, disband the company.
What did he say?
Disband the company.
His company.
You can't prosecute something that ain't there.
Fair enough.
Simply true.
By the will of Seneschal, it shall be done, and if he throws a fit, I will ask him to take it to a higher authority.
It's on paper. If he doesn't understand that, that's his problem.
To be quite honest, without Leo, he wasn't running the company anyways. He was having Leo do all the work for the company. He didn't even make a phone call to the mayor. He had Leo do it.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. He had Leo and Leo's secretary making all the phone calls to the mayor. He tried to call, I think, once, and that was it.
Ransdale
He's like,
will.
I'm just passing off to Leo. Fine, whatever.
Ransdale will look at Carmine and he will say, and also when you kill my the chowder that I just made, Thomas Roderick, which I think you should take time to consider. But if you are going to destroy him, you should. He holds a tremendous amount of sway, so you should make sure to acquire that. When he dies. But once again, I would tell you to reconsider.
So this guy, how do we know this recant is real? How do we know about that? We don't know who this guy is because here's the thing. I got the demon magic thing. I understand that. That's what's going on. And I got the wolfy bad guys thing. Yeah, I got that too. Who are the mages?
He is not a mage. He is a mortal with a bunch of sway that that instead of spreading his blood thinner, instead of Gareth spending more blood to have another person under his sway, he merely convinced Thomas Roderick to follow his rhetoric. His rhetoric became false over time, and the veil was lifted over Thomas's eyes, and so he turned himself into us. He didn't even expect to live through the encounter. He just thought that what Thomas had done is wrong, and he gave himself over. He could be tricking me. There could be mages who have made his soul seem only truthful. I don't know of such things, but as I saw his soul to be truthful and that he was truly repentant, then I saw the opportunity to put someone in our hands that had intimate information and that would move things properly. When I go back, I can try to have him more thoroughly vetted if you wish, but I know that there was no dominate slate in his mind. There was nothing of that I know of. No mind sphere from the mages had affected his mind. Nothing. Like my power of seeing had shown me so.
Something about this guy I just don't like. You don't turn a true believer into a non-believer that quick.
Well,
Gareth,
apparently.
Well, Gareth has always been Gareth. This guy's smart,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Brother guy, he's smart, right? So the smart guy sees this guy doing stuff, making moves. And he knows from early on that, yeah, even though the guy's got some kind of, religiosity slash, philosophy behind it, he's still a dirtbag. Okay? You can't look past the dirtbag if they're not using kind of weird vampire powers on you. And you check, there's no weird vampire powers being done. Unless it's the other one. Unless it's the whammy.
I mean, I don't know that he couldn't have been under his sway, and he couldn't have been kept entranced in hearing the right things that he wanted. I know that when he came to me, the veil was lifted.
But what would have lifted his eyes? Who would have done something like that? Who could have done something like that? Nah. You throw the whammy on somebody, it sticks. What do you call it? Whammy? The freaking presents.
Not always. It can wear off.
Not when you got it. This guy's big horse potatoes, and they're gonna use his side trick on somebody, and then this guy just kind of walks away from it. Okay, so it's all about the kind of weirdness. Okay, right? They do weird shit with magic and blood and shit. They do that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this guy's got none of that in him, and this guy stayed, and no one offed him. Nobody, came over him, and not only that. Remember, these spy guys are foot soldiers. Yeah, we're going to hit them, but look at where we're hit. Look at the plan, guys. Come on, step out with me out of the practicality of the situation. Look into the long game. The long game is this. All we're doing is look who we're hitting. We are hitting the Sabbat. We are being directed at the Sabbat. And while they are an immediate threat, they're not the real threat, if you really think about it.
Well, I think that the way in which I am hitting them will not be a way that they anticipate. And I also believe...
Well, no. Here's what I'm saying. Raised up. You are correct. They are a problem. Like, for real. But I want you to think about this. We know for a fact, pretty much, that the Sabbat are the foot soldiers of this operation, with all their different phases. What if Phase 6 is take out the Sabbat? And they use us to do it? Because they're just in the way right now. Because remember, they were never keyed in on the whole magical part. What if they're here now and they don't want to deal with them anymore? They want to get rid of them. Who do they send to get rid of them? They tell us exactly where they are, tell us exactly where they hit. We take them out for them. We get the whole city mobilized to take them out. And who have we taken out? The Sabbat. We haven't taken out the guys that are pulling the strings. Because Gareth is one piece of the puzzle. So why are we being pushed that way?
Well, I'm the one doing pushing to do that. However, I understand your concerns, And I believe that we should test to see if some of the other items are true. If we get with the mages and they find the nuclear device that this is fail-safe, then I say we move forward. Or if we need more proof, if we move and we find the hackers are to be where they say they are, at some point we must move against the Sabbat.
Yes, we must, because they're going to do something. Well, unless we don't have to. Here's what I'm saying, and this is it. This is all I'm going to say on this. I understand that the Sabbat are a real concern. You are not wrong in that. However, I've seen a lot of guys make a lot of moves over time. Okay, and one of the things that you do is it's a fake move. It's a move fake. You can have some guys that okay. There was this guy. I'll tell you the story, and then you can see what extrapolate. Okay, there was this guy. He wanted something. He had an objective, but he was very small time. Okay, he wasn't a big time guy. So what does he do? He's got this uncle. This uncle is into trucking, jacking. He's jacking trucks or whatever. He gets in good with this guy, and then he plays this guy. He says, "Hey," and then he goes and gets in a fight with another guy who's a big guy. So his uncle's a big guy, and this other guy's a big guy. He goes and gets in a fight with him and starts it with him, or whatever. He goes over there, he's feeling strong. He feels disrespected. He comes back, he tells his uncle. His uncle's like, "Oh, what the fuck is this going on?" So what does he do? His uncle, who's in trucking and shit, and the big time boss, he comes in, he whacks the other guy. He has to sit down with his boss and everything, because he's not a made guy. His uncle's a made guy. So his uncle, the made guy, shows up and crushes the guy's life. What's that left? So now all that guy's businesses are ripe for the taking. The small-time guy slides in. He's got his uncle's blessing. Now he's got what he wanted.
I believe they call that a Kansas City shuffle.
I don't want to know how you know that.
Out of character, Josh. Stop dying.
I mean, do you get what I'm saying over here?
I do.
I mean, it is obvious that we need to do something about this Sabbat. But look at what they did. They're doing exactly what we're doing. He's entrenched himself. This guy didn't come up with this frickin' virus. We know this.
I also have, as an aside, the contact that got me the information about where they're at and such.
Who's that guy?
Do you really want to know?
He's gonna piss me off.
Not sure.
Probably.
What did you do, Alex?
I didn't do anything.
Who did you call, Alex?
I didn't call anyone, but
Who called you, Alex?
with the utmost respect, I did give my word that I would not say.
Is he gonna piss me off?
No.
If
He does say that Gareth does not have as large a force as he keeps wanting us to believe, which corroborates what Roderick told us earlier as well.
Which supports my story that he's just some kind of foot soldier guy.
My contact? No.
No. The Roderick guy. I mean, the Gareth guy. He's a general. He's moving in pieces, but he's getting his marching orders for someplace else. These aren't his plans. These aren't the plans of a soldier. Soldiers don't do holding actions. They don't do that. They go and they break shit.
True. Not a soldier would do that. Not a general, but a soldier.
But
yeah.
At the same time, you don't get to a high rank within the Sabbat by being stupid.
Yeah, you do.
No. Don't get me wrong.
When I say stupid, well, here's my thing. I don't mean he's a stupid individual. I think that he's acting within the information that he has received. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's only doing what he's told. He's only. I don't know if I'm looking too deep into this, or if because on its face it's go kill the Sabbat. You both see it. I see it. Go kill the Sabbat. That's the obvious thing. It's commit all our forces in one spell daylight swoop to take them all out. Exactly where they are, cherry picking our attack, with a grand coordination plan. And that's easy. Now here's the question: why now? Why now? Why now do we receive this information? We've been investigating this shit for all this time, and I want to know why now.
Out of character. Downtime and Bill's getting impatient.
We don't know that in character. So Ransdale
No,
will
that's not
say.
how I am.
Ransdale will say, I will think on this.
Here's one thing I want you guys to think about. We need to know what Phase 6 is. We need to know what the end game is. What's the end game?
Well, he has contingencies. If you will take Roderick's word, if you want, Phase 5 was taking the mayor. Phase 6 is the hackers
Prince.
that are going to shut our whole economic down. Oh no, Phase 6 was the prince. Was Andreas. Phase 7 is the fire sale. Phase 8 is Diablerize the Antediluvians. Phase 9 is if you haven't Diablerized the Antediluvians, or if you have, then you go find the one that's still active and consume him too. And Phase 10 is if all else fails, you activate a nuclear device.
Think about it. Fire sale's just as good as a nuclear device. Why are they doubling down on that?
What do you mean?
Well, you hedge your own bets, don't you, Carmine?
No. You don't even understand.
Because the fire sale can be interrupted. The nuclear device is functionally the press of a button.
When you make a plan, you have to act as if it will work. Even so, here's the thing: the guy plans on a fire sale and then leaks the information on the fire sale and the nuclear device.
The fire sale is meant to be. Look at the general plan. It's another thing to keep us busy. It's to put the streets in chaos, to functionally put your control of the city obsolete. My control would be too busy trying to keep peace.
What do they gain from it, though?
Disarmed during a fire sale.
They essentially
they shut us down.
We lose our ability to contest them in the catacombs, so that he can go downstairs and eat them.
Exactly. The fire sale is not really.
It's not an attack.
Fire
it's a
sale is to
distraction.
trap you. And it's a trap. It cuts you off your resources that you're all pretty much reliant on. And
A fire sale would not stop me.
Well, he is in a fire sale. There's nothing for you to do with money. You could pay people, which suppose would still work to some extent. However, looting, rioting, having no access to cell phones.
Sorry. And part of what was listed as part of the fire sale attack was specifically attacking every kindred's finances. We would have, whether they drain the accounts or whether they simply deny us access to those accounts, we would not be able to access any of our money to begin with.
Our accounts are safe, you know that.
Yes, but they could still. They would be able to deny us the ability to access to them. They have had weeks of preparation, but by the time they drop this, they'll have almost a month of preparation before they actually launch this attack. Yes, our accounts may have static defenses. Yeah, and kind of like what Bill said in there, and they have almost 40 hackers. 40 very adept hackers that they kidnapped for a reason. And this is that reason. It is entirely meant to disarm us and distract us, make us have to deal with something else while he gets to the Antediluvians. Even if Gareth is not the biggest concern that we have on the table, him diablerizing an Antediluvian and then going to throw down with another to try and diablerize the Assamite, that is enough of a concern that it has to be addressed. If there is more going on, we need to get, as Ransdale was saying, we need the shifters and the mages to be in on this, because we do not have the manpower to be all the places we need to be.
Yes.
No, but we have the manpower. But I think we have the manpower to do what we should do.
Okay, Carmine, what do you believe we should do?
All right. It's sound kind of wacky. All right. We have not yet discovered who dangled the carrot.
I know who is dangling the carrot to Gareth.
Whom?
Those within Wolfram and Hart.
I gotta say, what I'm worried about, and here's what I'm worried about. Guy's not gonna nuke there's two antediluvians. His evac plan's a bomb. Isn't that gonna take out the two antediluvians?
This is, I think, A, he doesn't know if whether or not they'll survive, but B, if he can't do what he wants to do in the city, then dropping a nuclear bomb and destroying two antediluvians, possibly three, will gain him so much favor in the Sabbat and be such a dreadful backlash to everyone else that he should be able to curry enough favor to rule the Sabbat. Even if he doesn't eat them, he still destroys them, and if he destroys them, he still wins. Sabbat-wise.
So why don't we be douchebags and have the mages find them for us, and then we go do it?
Ultimately, I believe that he may not be trying to fight for the Sabbat.
I think we should definitely prioritize the nuclear device, and I'm sure the mages have ways to find a nuclear device far easier. However, I also believe that, there's a dreadfully, dreadfully important fact that we know that you don't know that may make all of this become very clear.
Okay.
Apparently recently, or somewhat recently, Gareth has bonded with a demon, and that's what put the shakes into Roderick, because he saw an actual demon bonded with a vampire. And so his actions are colored through the lens of demonic power and not caring if everything is destroyed in the process.
He is the infernalist.
He is one. He is now not an infernalist. He is a literal vampire who is housing, or at least somewhat partially, housing a demon within his body for extraordinary power.
He's not Sabbat, then.
No, he is not. He is moving them as pawns. However, they are his search teams. They are part of his search teams. They are part of what he is using, and he does not intend to lose them yet.
So how did he get the demon in him?
I am unsure of the nature of how he got a demon. All I know is that Roderick was very insistent about that.
But look! You're a master mage guy, right? You're a freaking master of thaumaturgy, right?
I am adept at thaumaturgy. I'm not sure that I am considered a master.
Can you think of any way you can do that as a vampire?
Yes.
How?
A few days ago, we had all of this ambient energy in the air, and I conducted a ritual when the planets aligned that infused me with a great amount of power. Ransdale kind of like rolls his eyes a little bit like he doesn't really want to talk about this. I have unlocked in my own self the ability to buy magic that is a weaker version of the true mages. I have unlocked hedge magic unto myself. I have given myself new powers and multiple other things. So it is likely that if he had a mage that was evil and the planets were aligned and there was so much ambient energy in the air that he could create some sort of fusion with himself and the demon that is completely unheard of.
But that's it. See, this is the rub. This is the rub. Listen to this. And this is where it gets funny. Why would he? Why would you make your minion more powerful than you are? Why would you give him an edge that you couldn't control?
I don't know if you understand things about mages, but I have an understanding of mages. And they far surpass our understanding of what is power. And if this one is sufficiently more powerful than a regular mage already, and he is infernal, then he could do this thing to Gareth and still be comparatively destructive, or more so.
So, what we're saying is that this ability that he's been given, if such an ability doesn't exist, if it was indeed a demon, if this is indeed infernalism, we're working with a lot of ifs.
I can confirm that those in Wolfram and Heart and those at its head are infernal.
Okay, but we can't do that shit, can we? We're not. I mean, you gotta be a diabolist or something like that, right?
We are not. We are not in a conventional city, I must stress this. The mages put so much ambient energy out that we all gain spontaneous disciplines. This city has functioned like none other I have ever been to, and the celestial alignment was so strong that any magic that I worked was like simple child's play.
But my question remains, and that's where it all really comes down to. You guys are the only guys I'm working with right now. I told you, Rainsdale, I'm with you, okay? But I have to think of the city itself in a more of a long-term kind of thing. And so I have to think of these plans that are coming at us in a more of a long-term kind of thing. And the thing that's messing with me that I don't understand is, why do they want the Sabbat gone? If the plan isn't...
Go ahead, please.
All right. If the plan is to hit us, and they're their foot soldiers, why would they let the weaknesses of their foot soldiers go? How would we find these things? Why do we know so much right now? What did we do? We didn't do anything. What did we do out of the ordinary? Any strange, mystical, magical investigations did we do that suddenly all this falls on our lap right now? This guy walks into your place, and you say, by the way he acts, he doesn't expect to survive this. He's recanted. He feels bad. Does he really? And to make matters worse, if what you say is true, then this guy tossing off Gareth as a sacrificial lamb, as a kind of like a stalking horse, ain't nothing to him. So he tosses him off to the side. We take him out. He's not a problem anymore. And so now he's still that guy. He's still the big dog. So the question remains: is this guy a stalking horse? Is this a distraction? Is this the big distraction, the biggest one?
I believe, and I truly do, that I can only judge so much, but I believe that Thomas Roderick is true in his statements and what has been done, because there's no hiding to a certain extent what you are. The other Sabbat may be so deluded on their path, but he still follows Humanitas. So I believe that this is true, and I also believe that Wolfram and Hart have that they have their own agenda in the mage world, in the vampiric world, and in the Geru world. And that all of the things that they have, they are slowly pushing us to grind on things and not pursue them. I think the month-and-a-half timetable is a true timetable that we must address things in. Because if they gain, their end goal is to, whether or not the mage's true goal is to let Gareth diablerize the Antediluvian, or if it's just to find him and use it as a new source of power. Apparently, Gareth has been using the Sabbat and his shifter allies to push out nodes, which I'm explained to as supernatural, they're feeding grounds for mage power. He's been using the Sabbat to hold places so that the evil mages in Wolfram and Hart can just drain tons of mystical energy like an unlimited battery at the cross points in the ley lines so that they can supercharge themselves for whatever nefarious thing they're doing.
So
Okay,
ultimately,
I
their conglomeration here seems to have what amounts to two apocalyptic level power capabilities, with a potential third,
Mhm.
and ultimately, well, believe me, Carmine, I understand your concerns and reservations, but at the same time, I, I personally also believe that there comes a point where we have validate we've been able to validate the information as much as we possibly can without also having to bounce it off of the mages. Unfortunately, the validity of this information is also on the timetable, because once they realize that Roderick has come to us, they will change their plans. So
Yes,
ultimately, we need to act on this if we're going to at all.
okay then. This is how we do it.
very good.
Okay, this is how we do this. Your daylight hit. It's a good plan. We hit them in the daylight, but at the same time, we have our mage allies go to every one of the other sites that ain't owned by one of Wolfram and Hart. And they take all that super fucking magic juice that they got, and they hit them in their supernatural magic juice pot, and they turn it from whatever it is to something else, so it don't work for them.
I think that this could be a good plan. However, I know that the mystical, infernal, and defenses on Wolfram and Hart are substantial. But this plan does have merit, and I think that this should be discussed with us and the mages. Yes, I think we also need to get the werewolves on top. I'm sure there's things that they have moving that we can move them and push them towards at the same day to really rock the foundations of this infernal place. Um, I think the time. I think that you used your time appropriately, Carmine. I think the plan where we waited and we grew ourselves was the best plan at that time, and I think that now is the time for action. If we can hit and chew through the Sabbat, even if it's part of their plan, that is one less distraction that they have, and I'm not sure that they understand. Because you are all in the car with me and this close now, I can say with confidence, um, I have had a mage put something on me where they cannot find me or scry on me or see me remotely. So,
Really?
yes. Well, so what I've been doing has gone unnoticed to them, and so the plans that are made with me around cannot be seen by them, and so we have to hit them quickly and violently while they don't know what we can do.
All right, I got some guys. They're not nice guys. This will essentially okay with this plan that I'm gonna do. This thing that I'm gonna do. I will no longer be the Don of Minneapolis.
What?
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
want me
burn
to
it.
go? Yeah, I'm gonna. I character to burn every dot I have because you don't do what I'm about to do. It's not done.
I have a blood favor still over Cash and his whole gang.
Yeah, well, we still don't know what we sent with Jade. We don't know what that is.
Yeah, I guess we should find out.
Carmine being paranoid.
Hey, Bill.
And by the way, Cash is now Prince of DC, so yeah, that's a good favor to have.
Yeah. Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Can I clairvoyance and karmic sight Jade and see if she's infernal?
Sure, we'll just say you do, and she's not. I'll tell you that.
Okay. All right.
She was only fed some crappy blood just to keep her alive.
Ransdale will say, "I've seen into her soul, and she is not. She is not with the infernal." Like Ransdale's eyes kind of go white, and he stares far off, and then he comes back, and he's like, "No, there is no infernal taint on her."
So why am I here again? Anyway,
Ransdale,
so,
I respect your results, but I do still feel that I need to go on record. Some of the things you do were really creepy.
Yes, I understand that.
all right, so
I say this with the utmost respect.
we're going to have
It comes with the territory.
okay. So the mages are going to hit the weird thing, and they're going to be known. We're going to have the wolves do wolfy things, but to do that, we have to have a contact with the wolves that won't eat us because they're fucking lupines and they're lupine at things.
I will deal with the wolves.
Okay, good. I will deal with the mages, because I can't do magic, so they should be okay with that, right?
I'm not sure that that's true, but I'm sure that you are more palatable to some of them than I am.
And okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Weren't you
call in a
sending
favor.
Marcella? I apologize. Weren't you sending Marcella to go talk to her cousin?
That is
What?
that I'm sending Marcella to her cousin to develop more of the antidote. This isn't a whole
I
different matter.
apologize.
But her
No,
cousin
no.
is also a mage. You guys would know
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Her cousin is definitely a mage, but I'm having her work with him to pursue the avenue of getting us more antidote. So while she is doing that, Carmine can work with the mages to see about coordinated assaults.
So we do that, and here's the thing, Ringsdale. During all this Michigas, there's all this craziness. Could you find the antediluvian?
What?
Could you find the antediluvian and all this craziness? Could you do that?
The problem with finding the antediluvian is that I have not personally met them. People to whom I have personally met, I can find them across the world.
Okay, so it's gonna have to be a two-pronged assault, but here's the deal. We can't let them know we're having these meetings.
I understand. Oh, if you are meeting with mages, then I'm sure that they can put wards up against what is them being able to find you and see you.
Oh, I'm not gonna ever meet with them. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put together a packet of information. I'm gonna take that packet of information and I'm gonna have it shipped to them and their leadership. You're gonna find out who that is and who I need to email, and I'm gonna send it to them. And if they want to meet with me afterwards, that's on them. They made that move. I didn't. Do you understand?
Yes.
That way it's as protected as possible. Makes sense. It's a smart
I was
move.
gonna,
Obviously,
I was gonna write it in stanza.
we have discussed things together with me present both times, so their ability to see the location has been obscured. So when you talk to other kindred about this, if I'm not there, the same protection cannot be offered.
I won't talk to the other kindred about this.
He will not.
So, your part in this, Alex, is to make sure. Okay, we're not really a triumvirate or anything, but you know we got jobs to do. Rainsdale, you're gonna go talk to the wolves and get them in on it. Alex, your thing is this. You're gonna throw basically all your whatever it is that you do. I don't know how you do it, but you're gonna make sure that things that while they are able to do some sort of tap dance and screw with us, there's got to be paperwork, paper trails, stuff like that. Boggle it, bottleneck it, slow everything down. Everything. I want them moving at a crawl, and I don't want them to be able to know why.
Excuse me, Carmine. You should also know something else.
Oh Jesus.
First of all, I had a great amount of the virus, and then I took that virus and I threw it into the building of Wolfram and Hart and infected their whole building with the virus. Then I talked to I made a mention to our friend in the FBI, and now the CDC has locked down the Wolfram and Hart building. So they are currently incredibly bogged down for things. Also, I think that what you're telling him to do is very vital. But if he is just spending his time bogging down the Sabbat, then someone needs to hit the sale before it happens, because it is not something that we can fix. So fire sale must be a paramount thing as well.
On that note, Violet West, the friend of mine from St. Paul that just recently came over, she holds a fair bit of sway with the banks, and she is a very, very potent broker.
We got a guy for that.
Yes, I'm aware, but multiple eyes on a problem, at the very least. The task I gave her already was to recoup the $2 million that we've paid to Mr. Ransdale, and to try and make sure that as many of the Ventura accounts as possible are secure. I can
She's one
amend
of us.
that at any moment.
She's one of us. Well, then you're a boss. I can't really tell her to do nothing. However, if I was gonna tell her to do something, what I would do would be what I would tell her would be is to tell her to make sure that the money's right in as much as we're able to freeze any of their slush funds. I don't want to freeze their legal money. I want to freeze their illegal money.
Mm.
Can
And
she do that?
she should be able to, I would imagine. And
So we have.
if in the off chance that their illegal money has been cleaned well enough that it's hard to mess with.
Then it's legal money, and that's another guy's problem.
Very good.
That's all I want to focus on. All their illegal money. You can't be buying skulls and shit on the internet, and you can't be buying this and that and the third and bribing people with like actual money. You can't do it. It don't work that way. I've been a crook a long time. You don't use your money on your books. You don't put that on your freaking W-2. You don't have that. Okay? So there's a slush fund. I need her to find that.
Got it.
The only thing we got that they don't know we got is the gargoyles.
Yes. That is our
Kid.
advantage.
Kid,
Yeah.
you guys gotta be really fucking busy. And you're not gonna like what I want you to do.
What do you want me to do?
Deliver messages.
Kill a lot of people.
No, I want them to deliver messages. Think about it. You can hack my email. You can't hack my gargoyle.
Very true.
You can track my phone. Good luck tracking the big frickin' stone master of death that's in the sky. And if you fuck with him, he cross your face off.
Very true.
Do you understand what I'm trying to have him? Do you guys get it? I mean, I know it's a demotion. I know.
Well, no, I was merely stating that I would have a talk with them, as these are loyal members of my clan.
I mean, do you get what I'm saying? Almost like a vampire in his own right. I gotta ask him.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So any messages we want delivered betwixt the kindred, that's how we pass them along. Good luck hacking that. But, you know, we need them and the Nas. Between the Nas and the gargoyles, we should be able to pass along any message we want.
Agreed.
It'll just be a little bit slower than normal, but it'll be more secure.
I want our shit secured. That way we can also pass along meeting notes the same way. We have our meetings in places where people don't. When we start meeting with these other supernaturals, when we start making those big plans, when we make that move, that's how we're going to coordinate. We set up a communication system that only that only certain people understand. A cipher, a cryptogram, whatever you want to call it, some kind of way that we can communicate with them. That way, no one else knows what we're saying to each other, because communication is everything. I'm going to Paulie. There's more.
I can probably acquire the means to do that. I can give you items so that when you write a message, only the intended recipient will be able to read it and understand it.
Great. Can you meet with the Nas?
Yes, I know.
Or are you busy? No, can you meet with the Nas?
I mean,
who do we got?
I can meet with them. Yes.
Okay. Who do we? Or do I do it? Let me do it.
Then you do
I'll talk to the Primogen and see if they're ready to step up. Because we need them there.
If you give Mike a job, he's going to be ecstatic.
So we have them as our communicators. Between them and the gargoyles, that's how we communicate. The plan is, in the broad strokes, rather simple. Me just turn off the evil juice over there. Us and the wolves hit them, hit the Sabbat. But here's the rub. You guys understand what I'm saying when I say I'm not sure that the Sabbat is the real problem. I'm not sure that all this information that we've gotten isn't for a reason. I'm trying to figure out how to hedge my bets in the direction of what if.
So we stay flexible.
Well, we can't really. There's a point when you really can't be flexible in this when you have to commit. At that point, it doesn't matter how awesomely open the plan is, you're in that plan. And you got to kind of, work with it from there. So the deal is, before we make any finalizations, we have 4 days. In these 4 days, I need to know, based on your information, based on everything you can find, under every rock you can look under, is this a sacrifice play? Is it a sacrifice play to get rid of the Sabbat so whoever is there can do whatever they want? Because these Sabbat guys, these guys here, you know, if if they know that they're guys, because he's a freaking, it doesn't work in my mind. Okay, in the planning stages, and here's why. In the plan, his plan was to disenfranchise the very group that he wanted to lead. His plan was to become an enemy of the very people that he wants to lead.
Unless he's intending to diablerize Set instead of theirs.
No, they would want their antediluvian dead as well. It's the Sabbat's main goal.
And how is he alienating himself other than when he outs himself as an infernalist?
But I understand what you're saying, Carmine, and I can see how that is a legitimate concern, and I will give it my legitimate concern. Because if he has undergone the ritual where he has become part demon and part kindred, then it would be difficult. It would be a very tenuous hold that he has over his Sabbat minions, because his evilness would be too much for them to ignore. And they are, as we have discussed previously, fanatical about the elimination of infernalism. So, would it be in our best interest, instead of destroying the Sabbat, to show them their own hypocrisy and deal with them for now to eliminate him, and eliminate them later when they go back to their means of destroying the antediluvians?
That's my concern. That's my concern.
Yes,
I know you guys are all fired sure that we should go in and military strike these guys, but it's something in me that says, Carmine, it's gnawing in my back of my head, and it's not the beast. It's in the back of my head. It's telling me, Carmine, you're missing something. Carmine, you're not seeing something. Carmine, don't go for that. Don't go for that car right there.
Now, I understand also that, let me preface, Thomas Roderick did not tell us to go destroy the Sabbat. We asked him questions, he provided information. So I don't know necessarily that he is corrupted, but I do know that your concern is a valid one. I'm just not sure at the moment of which is right. We should go under the assumption that we should destroy the Sabbat. I will look into my own personal growth to see if that is the correct way.
We need to. There's one thing that we can do that's very simple and mortal, and on the level of people with hands and feet. Andrea, we know we haven't looked. Where Andreas was holed up all those days. Yes, she whacked him, but we never went and looked at the place.
I have, with all the things that I've had to do, not had time to look into his home. I have the location. I know where to go. We can look into that. However, in the next 4 days, I will be reflecting on my personal growth because it's downtime.
I'm a pretty good investigator. I'll check that out.
I would love to have you come with me. However, I believe in these next 4 days we should focus on using our olive branches to get people together. And we should, if we can get time before the big show, we should look into Andreas's for more information. However, I believe that right now we have to grow our olive branches rather than investigate his home because it's a downtime.
All right.
Yes.
Sounds like
Obviously
a plan.
ignore everything that is because it's a downtime. You can put the period before those two words. Um,
Do you guys think I'm being extra paranoid over here? You think I'm tilting the windmills here?
I think that you have a legitimate concern that we may be doing Garrett's work for him. However, he may be crafty enough that he is able to continue to manipulate the Sabbat because he can say that he no longer has time to meet with each pack member or each ductus or whatever the fuck, and he will just issue orders and they will blindly follow. Your critical eye is good, and I agree that it bears deep consideration because if it isn't a trap, then at the very if it the very worst is a trap, but a step before that is cleaning up his loose end Sabat that would out him otherwise or try to kill him. Our best result is that it cripples him in some way. But obviously, we should look into your concerns because after discussion, I agree that it is extremely valid concern and that perhaps we need to figure out a way to destroy the BSDs, the abominations that are there, and then see what we can't do about showing the Sabbat the error in their leadership, or at least make his resources to kill them instead of our own.
If I might offer a summary, there's no such thing as going in over-prepared. The only time that that's actually the case is if you burn up too much time doing it.
Or if you wear 2 condoms, because then it's not as effective at all.
This is true.
I'm sorry, part of the ritual that I did has caused me to see the world in a different perspective. Yes. I don't necessarily know that I care for a sense of humor because it's wasted conversation. But it's what has happened.
It's also made you a bit more long-winded. I mean, you were going for like a solid 4 minutes there.
I apologize.
Oh no, but it's refreshing to hear
It's a record.
stance it's refreshing to hear your stance explained.
Alex,
Yes.
I trust your counsel. And Alms, you're here and your people are involved. You've heard everything that we've said. What do you two think that there could be another angle? Am I accepting? Are we accepting it as fact? Are we accepting it as fact that the only issue that we should be focusing on is the destruction of the Sabbat, or should we look in, as I've stated, into it, not into the why? Why now?
Ransdale will also look at Alex and he will say, since you are no longer directly in charge of stopping the fire sale, then whether it happens or not, I will no longer make you a paraplegic if you fail.
I genuinely appreciate this.
But continue and answer Carmine's concerns.
So, I would say that I believe that it's ridiculously serendipitous that we just get dropped this information on our lap, especially since my contact was, again, approached me merely a few hours before with, to be fair, information that would have, running off of that, still had us a few weeks behind where we're at now with this cure and such. But what I would say is that yes, we should. I apologize. One moment. Don't look the gift horse in the mouth, but at the same time, if somebody's just giving you a horse, there's probably something wrong with it.
I'm gonna hire a
I
bunch
don't.
of
I
Chinese.
don't. I don't think that it was part of Gareth's plan that Roderick comes to us. But I do think that Roderick probably was left in the dark enough, especially if this demonic possession and such was just something that he happened to witness and dropped into his lap.
I don't think that this guy is. I don't think that Gareth knows who this guy really is. What I think, what I think is someone placed him at Gareth's disposal because Gareth can't act. Because look at it, he's a soldier. He's a general. That's what he does. They gave him someone who could grease the wheels.
What I'm thinking is, in regards to the information that we got from Roderick, what we should do is, because we can't, in my honest opinion, I do not believe that we should take any tactical action against the Sabbat or any of their associates until after we have found that nuclear weapon. That said, while we're looking for that, we need to get Roderick to the mages, because if they have this infinite cosmic power, they can look at. Ransdale, I don't doubt your abilities to, like you said, to look into his soul and make sure that he's not lying. But a second opinion is always also a beneficial one. We should make absolutely sure that there's nothing that their mages couldn't hide that Ransdale couldn't see.
He's not going to go to the mages.
Pardon?
Oh my god, that is slick. It's old school. Guys.
If the mages can find something, then
no.
we'll know where he's been compromised.
No, look at it. Look at it, it's beautiful. It's the oldest trick in the book. What is it? He's here. No, I'm sorry. No. He's here. He's among us. He's innocent. He's safe. What happens if you would have bit this guy, Rainsdale? What might have happened to you? Did you taste his blood already?
Yes, I drained his blood. I have tasted of his blood.
You don't feel funny enough?
No. I did. I drank his blood. I took the challenge, embraced him of my own clan.
So now he's a Tremere.
Yes.
With all the protections of a Tremere.
Yes.
Which means that only the prince can have him killed.
I can reclaim the blood.
I can't even whack him.
You can whack him. I already told you could kill him.
I'm a venturer.
But he has the right of being the patron of the childer.
He's not the prince. In a prince's domain, only the prince can do that.
Point of note, if someone is under your accounting, you actually have right of destruction over them until they leave your accounting.
And he's got 40 years.
The final arbiter of any destruction of any vamp in town is the prince. That's what got you in trouble last time, remember?
Yes. However, obviously, I would not do it without the consent of the prince, but I'm sure after a quick discussion with the prince and explaining that he is under my accounting, that there would be no concern. However, Camariel law is ambiguous in that statement for progeny and being under my accounting, and him being under his life being in my hands. I would not speak of diablerizing him. I was merely stating that I can choose to destroy him with no issue. But I once again see your concern that he might have slipped past and he might still be corrupted. And I will bear that shame and that issue should it come. I already have one who is even more potent than myself coming in to assert that no one in my chantry is a leak and that no one might be cavorting with the Sabbat.
Can you do me one favor?
Of course.
Remember when you scoured the place and you found whatever you found, whatever?
Yes.
Have him do it. The guy had to protect himself. He was not. You know, your former regent Eric. He was not of. He was not really Sabbat. He just kind of worked with the prince, right?
No, the previous regent was an Infernalist and a Sabbat member as
Okay,
well.
he was an infernalist, so he had to have ways of hiding himself. He also had to have ways of noticing his own kind.
Yes. If you're asking if I will give you a book on demonology and demon lore, then yes, I can acquire you those books.
No. What I want you to do is look for maybe he had objects that could do such a thing, or maybe he had some kind of power to do so. But maybe as advanced as you are, you're not him. I mean, maybe this other guy may know something you don't, you know?
I have a ring in my possession that it doesn't matter what the Infernalist is using to be secretive. If they are infernal, it will glow and it will let me know.
But that's vampire magic. Does that be magic?
This is not vampire magic. This is an artifact of a mage of great power that was left.
Alright, I want to go back to answering your question for a moment, Carmine. As I was saying, I honestly believe that what we should do is in some way, get the mages to verify that there was nothing tampering with Roderick, and that he is actually speaking the truth.
But
And
would we not be
then,
doing exactly?
While we're doing that, find the bomb.
Wouldn't we be doing exactly what somebody who is not on our side would want them to do? Wouldn't we be taking him directly to the people that we don't want him to know about?
If
Ransdale
is the one that does it,
that I was
when
there.
they cannot scan him.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm trying to cover my bases here. And my basis, my gut. Here's my gut. My gut tells me this is all too easy. Okay. My gut also tells me that we do need to do something about the spot. But my gut also says, because I always think I think like a manager, like a crew runner. Okay. Crew runners always got to make sure everybody eats. Everybody's also got to make everybody gets out of the job. Okay. And my thing is this: do we must redouble our efforts to make sure that this is not as easy as it seems. That this is not a snow job. This is a monumental snow job. I mean, think about this. I mean, it would be lovely if it worked, because what that means is they conned us out of a city, and then they got us to take out the guys that was the garbage men. Because as powerful as this guy is, he's really just small potatoes to the guy who's pulling the strings. We don't even know if it's Wolfram and Hart is pulling the strings. We know they're a multinational company. We know they got a hell thing that they get their supernatural jollies off of. We know.
I understand where you're coming from, Carmine, and believe me, I agree, and that's why I'm saying we should be verifying the information before we actually act on it. The worst case scenario is in regards to if we're looking for this bomb is we don't find it and then find out that it never existed. And if that's the case, we stop looking for it. Yes, we will have wasted a little bit of time until we can get a hold of the mages. But at the same time, I mean, you you asked what I thought, so that's what it is.
Okay.
Something that occurs to me as far as Phase 10, the bomb. What do they gain using the bomb?
Phase 10 was if the rest of the plan fails, and pretty much make sure that nobody else can access the things that you now lost out on. Sometimes your best winning bet is to cut out with their winning solution.
That's a soldier's plan.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's not the type of plan the person who uses the cat's paw like Garrett.
It just keeps coming in my head. Why level an entire city for something that we were going to leave alone anyway?
Yeah,
And
us leaving
radiation.
it alone is not the same.
Yeah, and radiation doesn't affect the vampires.
No, but it affects the
affects
mages
our
and would
food
lock them
supply.
away from their magic power spots.
I'm sure it would. It would greatly affect the effects.
Well, I guess we got till after downtime. Out of characters, you figure something out. I know out of character that I keep harping on a dead horse. I know you guys think I'm being crazy, but
I was just gonna make the comment. That are you sure you're not an elder man? Because you damn sure sound paranoid like one. Everything's a trap.
I mean, that's what Carmine does. Carmine keeps us in check. He's like, hey, man, I know that sounds good, but what about this crazy-ass shit you didn't think about? And then Ransel's like, okay, that's fine. I did not think of that crazy-ass shit. You're true. So I will look a little deeper. I will search it myself. I'll buy up the Hedge Magic Path Divination.
And then the other part about it is, he'll be like, hey, you're talking some crazy shit, so what about this other crazy shit? And then it turns out it was the other crazy shit. So, I mean, to be fair, so far, Carmine's track record is pretty damn fucking spot on.
that's because he's a paranoid crook from Jersey.
Yeah, I don't really know what Ransel's even here for.
Superpowers. Big numbers and
He's
superpowers.
fucking Superman.
Yeah, I'm completely useless out of character. Like, you can tell Joey to push the button on everything.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and end the scene.